Oh boy. Alright guys, so we had Great Balls of Fire tonight. I'm watching Raw Talk while doing this live. And you know, I didn't really have any expectations going into the pay-per-view. I'll be honest. I knew Reigns, Strowman, and Joe Lesnar was gonna be too physical, and then two physical matches that were going to put on pretty good, you know, stuff. And you know, the entire pay-per-view, I'm not gonna lie, the way they booked stuff, the way it went down, it was really to perfection. That's what I think. It was really good tonight. And it doesn't matter the fact that Raw does, you know, really lack sometimes and sucks. But the pay-per-view really delivered tonight. Tweet. So I've been somewhat of a busy person on Twitter tonight. My feed don't, you know, refresh that quickly with certain stuff, because, you know, a lot of people tweeting about, you know, the Reigns Strowman situation. We'll get to that and everything. But to start off the show, it was Bray Wyatt and Seth Rollins. People were like, yeah, this is the same old Bray Wyatt match, blah, blah, blah. Look, guys, you've got to look at it in a just different way, and just, look, I tried to do this, which a lot of others don't try, and just watch the match, see how you think about the match, and if you think it's good, then good. So, you know, everyone's walking in here thinking, yep, you know, Seth Rollins is going to win. Like, this man Bray Wyatt, if you have not seen his record, okay, my bad. If you guys really have not seen Bray Wyatt's record, legit record, since being in WWE, he's got triple the losses than he does wins. So tonight was a very much needed win, and he actually won tonight. He did a poke to the eye the ref did not see. Then Sister Abigail was connected for the 1, 2, and 3, and Bray Wyatt wins. And shocking outcome for me. Someone said if you looked at the betting odds, it wouldn't have been shocking. I was like, well, I mean, I don't look at betting odds. I don't want to look at betting odds. I just want to predict the show, what I've seen, and what I think is going to happen. So, that's that with that. So, you had Seth Rollins lose to Bray Wyatt tonight. And, yeah. So we'll talk about the women's match next. Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks. This match was, what was it? It was alright to good, I guess. So, I mean, see, I wish they would have just waited till SummerSlam to do this matchup, so they would have a good build to it, but they get to build more onto it. The way they booked it tonight was really smart. I mean, if you complain about how creative and how they book things, you can't really complain how they book things tonight at all. If you do, you just a big hater to WWE and everything. Honestly, I mean, if you like watch it and everything, you're just like one of those that just likes to hate a lot. Okay, goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Oh, the Miz. Oh shit. Renee and the Miz. Hold on. So, it ended up as a count out win for Sasha Banks. And then Sasha, they went off and she did the double knees from the announce table onto the floor. That was really good. They were going to set up Sasha. Oh my god, the Miz is funny. Sorry, guys. So Sasha and Alexa are going to continue their thing at SummerSlam. So okay, hold on. Okay, I'm gonna put the volume down so I do not actually listen to it and everything, so I can do this true review. So you had that happen, so we're gonna see more Alexa versus Sasha at SummerSlam with the correct build to it, so that will be good. You had Big Cass and Enzo. Big Cass absolutely fucking destroyed him. Like, you know, most people thought, you know, he would. And that ended up being the cause of it. Big Cass wins with a big right boot, and he looked amazing. Looked like $1 million. Really, really good. We had the tag team match. The 30-minute tag team match. Everything about this tag team match was very excellent. It was very excellent. If I'm talking, I don't want to disrespect Braun or Roman for what they did, because they really did good stuff. But if we're talking about match of the night, that goes to them. But if we're talking about match overall and then after the match, like moment after the match, well, we're going with Braun and Roman easily. But match of the night goes to Cesaro and Sheamus versus the Hardys with this 30-minute Iron Man match. Tag team match. So, I must have to say that, like, Cesaro, Sheamus, and the Hardys, they really, really just put it out there. And, you can't really thank them enough for doing that. That was just an amazing match. Yes, it might have been, you know, to make sure the main event with Joe and Lesnar was not going to be too long. But they still went out there and looked and worked their asses off, both of them, all of them. And I know, like, a lot of people's like, you know, tag team wrestling main roster compared to NXT are normally, you know, downhill, not as good. What we've seen from Cesaro, Sheamus, and the Hardys here with their feud has been phenomenal. Really good tag team wrestling all around, all the time. And I really, into God think, we are still at SummerSlam probably getting TLC for the tag team titles one last time, and I think that's when the Hardys win them back. And you might see a broken Matt Hardy or broken Hardys here soon. Dean Ambrose versus The Miz. The Miz is on Raw Talk right now. Miz retains. Check off the list. I tweeted, if The Miz doesn't win, you will see a big riot and everything on this review, which is live, and on Twitter if he loses. So he won. It was the match was alright. It was alright. It wasn't that good because Dean Ambrose to me is one of the most boring, stale, overrated wrestler I've ever seen, like, here recently. I mean, he is just not. It's boring, man. To be honest, I feel like I almost fell asleep during it. But what's that? Okay, my bad. Luckily, Ambrose did not win, and The Miz is still your Intercontinental Champion. Now to the big two main events that were absolutely insane and good. Okay. So we had Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman ambulance match. Now, the only two bad things during this entire match was they tried to go for a pin twice. One time for Braun, one time for Roman. I personally do not think they planned that. I think they just like, oh shit, forgot, you know? But maybe I don't know. I have no idea, but I don't think they had that planned. That's what I'm trying to say. But this match overall was very, very good. Like I said, physical. Strowman went through the screen. Reigns got through on the ambulance. There was a lot of stuff that went on. They were hitting each other with the ambulance door, you know, opening and hitting it, going back and forth. They teased going through the announce table, which did not happen, and that's when Strowman went through the screen from Roman. Roman does Superman punches and doing it about at least 2 or 3 times, and then he goes for a spear, misses. Strowman closes the door and then hits the ambulance to go. Or, you know, well, he won. Strowman won. Then that's when all of this just went out of fucking hand. Like, it was absolutely crazy. Reigns opens the door. Strowman turns around and gets speared. He tosses Strowman's big ass in there. Gets on the ambulance. Throws the ambulance driver and out. Starts driving it and then drives it. Next thing you know, you see him reversing, and he reverses and crashes into a thing with Strowman in it. Absolutely crazy. If you're watching this, say you get the network, say you even watching it on pay-per-view, you're like, you know what, I'm gonna see how it is, because look, you got Joe, Lesnar, I know those names. Say that, and then you hear, you know, Strowman, Roman, your ambulance match. Okay. Well, say you had someone order it on pay-per-view, and they didn't have the network. So, okay, we'll try it out. And they would have seen this stuff on the pay-per-view. Do you honestly think, that they would have thought this was still PG era? Or anything PG? No. This pay-per-view was far from PG. There's so much blood. So much blood everywhere. And to be honest, I thought, you know, where we would see blood for only one person. I mean, one match was the Brock and Joe one. I thought we might see blood in that. Now, we see blood in other matches and not even see blood in the Joe Lesnar match, which was actually surprising to me. But crashes into it, so they get, fireman crew and everything trying to, do the door. They have an impromptu match during it. Makes no sense. Heath Slater versus Kurt Harkins, and Heath Slater wins. We didn't even see the ending. That's how much they cared about that match. And next thing you know, they're opening it. Strowman, he's refusing help like the monster among men he is. That's why they give him that name, Monster Among Men. Of course this man isn't going to be carried out on the stretcher. Or, rolled in the stretcher into an ambulance. This man is going to walk on his own. He's a monster among men. And he's walking, he falls about 3, 4, 5 times. Then finally gets to a thing and holds himself up with his blood or fake blood, whatever, and everything. And he walks to his own. And there's a shot. He stopped. He was looking down, and he had that look, and it was crazy. This man walks on his own. I am ecstatic, and I cannot wait what's happening tomorrow night with Reigns and Strowman. But they have been feuding for over 6 months about. I just cannot wait what's going to happen tonight. There's sometimes you like, man, they're feuding so long. I could, with Owens and Zayn, yes, I could watch that forever. Same thing here with Strowman and Reigns. They are just so good together, and they just know each other very well. So that's all we had for the pay-per-view. We gotta wait till tomorrow night to see what happens, and I cannot wait for it. To the main event, we've got Samoa Joe, and we've got the reigning, defending WWE Universal Champion in the world, Brock Lesnar, defending it against Joe. This went 7 minutes. Now people's like, oh, that's it? That's the end of the match? Guys, did you honestly think this was going at least over 10 minutes? 10 minutes, maybe? 7 minutes. You gotta realize, this man Brock, yes, we know he's gritty, but this man is not going to work a long match unless, Vince tells him to. But this 7 minutes made Joe absolutely still look like a beast, a monster, and a badass, even in defeat. Brock Lesnar did retain. Brock Lesnar selling Samoa Joe's moves like a fucking boss. It was amazing. And I don't know, people still complain about it. I don't have no complaints about it. I really don't. You had Reigns, Strowman go at it for a good while, and you had that situation. This entire pay-per-view for me was an A. Now, some people are going to complain about the pay-per-view because they just like to complain a lot, in capital letters, a lot. Because I don't know the names. You scroll down the timeline and you see a lot of people complain about stuff, and I seen a good amount of people complain. I'm like, this pay-per-view was an A. I got a poll on Twitter. What's your grade for Great Balls of Fire? It's in my favorites / likes. I still call them favorites, even though they're called likes, because that's how it was. So it's in there in that section. You'll see it. I had like 40, 50 votes, something like that, and A was winning, B was close by, and C and D did not have much. But, you know, some people are going to want an F. You must not have watched the show clearly or something. That's why you gotta have an open mind with all this stuff. Some people don't have an open mind. They just want to fucking hate. And still go to pay-per-views. Even though they hate a lot. And they still go to, you know, some events. Makes no sense. But I thought it was an A for the pay-per-view. If you're watching this on demand, please comment down below what you thought of the pay-per-view. Smash that like button always. And I will see you guys next time here on the Tyler Keller Show.